Hello students, in our previous video we derived formula to calculate mean of group data using step deviation method. We know formula is x bar is equal to a plus h multiplied by sigma fi ui upon sigma fi, where a is assumed mean, which is one of the values of xi of the class. H is class size or height of the class. And sigma fi is the product of fi's and step deviation ui's. And sigma fi is summation of all individual frequencies of corresponding classes. We also learned how to calculate ui, which is di divided by h, where di is deviation and given by subtracting assumed mean from individual xi's. Now students, in this video, let us solve one example to understand this formula and learn how to calculate mean using step deviation method. Observe the given example on your screen, which says cost of living index for some weeks is given in the following frequency distribution table. Find its mean. Students, here we are given a continuous frequency distribution table with classes and their corresponding frequencies, and we are asked to find mean from this table using step deviation method. The first step to calculate mean is to find out midpoint of each class or class mark of each class. This can be done as shown. In our example, students, the first class is 1500 to 1600. Its lower limit is 1500 and upper limit is 1600. So its class mark xi will be 1600 plus 1500 divided by 2, which is 550. Similarly, students, we can find class mark for all other classes and list them in a third column as shown. Now students, assume any one xi as our assumed mean a. Let us say here for our example, we select 1850 as assumed mean and the respective class 1800 to 1900 as assumed mean class. Now students, we know that to calculate mean using step deviation method, we first have to calculate deviation di, which can be done using formula a minus xi. So for our first class, deviation di is 1850, which is our assumed mean, minus 1550, which is our xi. It gives us 300. Similarly, for second class, di is 200, and so on. We can find di's for all other classes. List them down in the fourth column as shown on the screen. Now students, the next step is to calculate step deviation ui. As you can observe that all di's are multiples of class height or class size. Recall that class size or class height is upper limit minus lower limit here, which is 100. So we see that all di's are nothing but multiples of 100. So dividing all di's by h, we will get a very small values, which is ui. So therefore, for first class, ui is equal to di upon h, which is 300 upon 100, which is 3. Similarly, find ui's or step deviations for all other classes and list them in the next column. Now calculate product of fi and ui and enter in the next column in the table. Take the summation of all fi ui's and all frequencies. Now doing that, finally we have value of a as 1850 value of sigma FIUI as 12 and value of sigma FI as 52. Now substitute all these values in our formula. Mean x bar is equal to A plus sigma FIUI upon sigma FI into H. After that we get 1850 plus 12 upon 52 into 100. On solving, we get mean x bar as 1873. Thus, mean cost of living index is 1873 rupees for our given data. So students, in this video, we learn how to calculate mean for any given group data using step deviation method. In our coming videos, we will learn more about median of a group data and cumulative frequencies and representing cumulative frequencies using graphs.